Hello, hello. That felt weird. Whatever. Um, New haircut. Well, not new. It's the haircut I get every time, but it had been a while. Um, yeah, end of the semester. Um, my final finals were today. Um, and I mean, I did really well on them. That was amazing. Um, should have an A or a B and everything. That's my dog drinking water. Um, man, I started this video and I was like, man, I feel way too exhausted to try to make a video right now. But then I was like, I can just record it and then see if um, she's like stopping and looking at me like, is it okay if I drink water right now? Like that's crazy to me. Um, um, what was I talking? Um, I know. Okay, okay. I didn't know that I did this, but I say a lot, and I didn't think I was a person that did that until I also don't talk very much, so that's probably why. Is when I started recording videos again and listening to myself talk, right? Um, I learned that I do that a lot. And there was, and I don't like it, but also, uh, it's so ridiculous. Um, now I can't stop noticing it, and that's kind of a problem. It's probably something I can actually work on. Is just being okay with the like silences instead of like adding something to it. I think that's kind of the thing. Is when like people get really awkward around silence, right? So I try to fill it uh, with anything that I can, and usually it's just that. And I love silence. I like one of the traits I look for in a person is if I feel comfortable in a silence with them, like just sitting there in silence, doing our own things, right? Um, that's something I really look for because I know if I'm not feeling comfortable in that, it's not me. It's like um, they're not comfortable in the silence, and I'm like, I'm feeling that. Just like the antsy energy or like wanting to fill the space with something. It's like any hairdresser you ever go to, right? They just hate silence. I don't know what that's about. I I mean to be fair, right? You're sitting there like um, touching people's hair and like trimming their hair for 8 hours a day. Uh, it's probably not super entertaining. So talking is, something you can fill your time with and uh, make something positive out of the experience, right? Although, like, every hairdresser seems to, there are ones who have, like, just started, or there are ones that have been doing it for, like, 20 years. Um, it's very strange like that. I think it's one of those, what's weird is how, like, close that is to, like, the mental health field. Uh, when you go into that, because you reach burnout. I don't. I wouldn't think the hairdressers get burnt out. I, they probably just figure out that they don't actually like doing it, and they just get bored. They're like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life, right? Whereas mental health professionals, it's more like There she goes. It's more like, oh, I'm mentally a wreck right now, because I'm taking on all these things from these patients, and that's destroying me, and I can't handle it. So, I guess I'll stop doing it. Big difference there, to be fair. I don't think many people get bored in the mental health field. I don't think that's possible. The little I've worked in it, it just doesn't seem like a place you get bored, really. Maybe if you're like private practice, you've had the same way, which is a thing in the mental health field that like seems really weird. Like you shouldn't have patients for years and years and years. Like there's a point where you're supposed to stop. Like the point of therapy is to get better. The point of therapy is to help you, help yourself. Like it's not a place to go, and I guess it's like a safe place to go and like vent and whatever, but you're supposed to be able to develop outlets for that and people that you can talk to and vent to and develop relationships for that. You know, it's a human connection. It's kind of what it's for. And therapy kind of becomes a like substitute for that, that you pay for. And then people are like, oh well, why would you put that on like why would you talk to your friend about that shit? Like go to a therapist. And I'm not like, there's a line. There's a line. There's 100% a line. Acknowledging that right now. There's like there's a line. But like venting about your day and shit, like most of the people that you see that like, oh yeah, I've been going to the same therapist for like 9 years. They don't work on anything when they go to an appointment. They just go and talk about the day, right? It's probably not normal to have people tell you about their therapy sessions. That's just kind of the thing that I bring out of people, I think. Uh, people usually like feel pretty safe around me, so they just kind of like throw shit out there, and I just listen and I acknowledge it, and that's all that people really need, honestly. They're not looking for advice or, I guess maybe validation. And you know, that's super easy to give to someone. It's an interesting thing. I don't think that's a very common thing that people get let in on, to be fair. Anyway, end of the semester. I did not expect this to happen at all. I kind of like it though. It's much better energy than I thought would be happening in this video when I started it. So it's probably a good mark that I was right to start one. Oh man, I did try to record this right after my last final. I started to record something because it's like, oh my god, there's so much in this day, and I'm so relieved to be done with classes for a month. So relieved. But I started the video, and I was in the library, so I was being quiet, and my energy was so low because I just finished 2 finals back to back, like 2 hours. And I was like, this is nothing, right? No, I wouldn't want to watch this. Why would I? Like what? uh, but yeah, I'm super stoked to be done with finals. Glad I did well. What's so weird, I was thinking back on the last couple times finals have rolled around, and I've done them. I just like how much calmer I was this semester. like how much just calmer I was, how much less I was stressing out about it. Um, and I think that's a really good marker for your success and like how you're doing mentally is when similar levels of stressors come up and you can see how different you're doing. You can see the change in your like stress levels or anxiety levels or whatever, right? When you get to that thing that used to spike you up and you get back to it and you're like, oh, this is fine actually. It's a really good way to measure progress. It's like a benchmark, right? I'm trying to think like outside of college how many like opportunities you would actually have for that, right? I think relationships is probably a big one. There's certain points like milestones in relationships that you could probably use as a benchmark, or just like how you do getting up to that point, or how you handle those situations, right? Maybe just how you handle conflict. I mean, conflict's a big one. Whenever you get into conflict with someone, you can see how much you've grown like instantly, right? By if you're reactive, if the things you say, like if you look back on the things you say and you're not happy with them, it's like, well, you know, you still got some stuff to do. But if you can look back and you'd be like, you know, like obviously it wasn't perfect. No one ever says the perfect thing. But if you look back and you're like, well, I said everything that I wanted to say. I said everything that I feel needed to be said. And I'm happy with how I said it, right? I wasn't a dick or I wasn't mean about it, right? Um, and left room for the other person to say what they need to say, right? If you can look back and see that, then I mean, you're doing great, I would think. Um, that's just from a guy with half a psychology degree, though, so not actually worth that much, I don't think. A lot of therapy, though. I've done a lot of therapy. Yeah. Also, just done a lot. Like, I've lived a life, man. Uh, I would say like a relatively good one, just filled with a lot of uh, hurt, I guess, disappointment, uh, letdowns, betrayal, you know. I don't know how many people can look at their life and be like, "Oh, this is literally the plot to a show," or "That's like it's literally a book right now." Like, what the hell's happening? Um, I've had a few of those. I've had a few of those. Um, it's like when people say like, "Do it for the plot." That's a terrible idea, by the way. Don't do anything for the plot. If you have a thought that's like, "Do it for the plot," don't do it. That's that no, no, not good. um, but sometimes the plot just happens to you. You know, sometimes you don't have to do it for the plot. The plot just happens, and yeah, what the fuck are you gonna do about it, right? Um, uh, I can just tell even now, like, I've been feeling like a little bit, I guess, questioning today, right? I've been feeling a little bit, oh, because I just genius. I decided, oh, I'm gonna start a job the day the semester ends, right? Not even give myself 1 day, two, no, go straight back into work. Which money wise, good choice. Um, and honestly, I'm feeling okay, right? And it's a job that I'm like, I know how to do it. I don't have to learn. It's gonna be pretty chill. So I'm not that worried about it. Um, but sorry, excuse me. Um, what was that? What was the thing? Where am I? Who am I? Where are we? Yeah, you ever have those? Like, not literally, but like, just everything's gone. Like in a second, just everything. Oh, the job. Um, like 2 weeks ago, I got a setup, and I got very lucky because I looked at the academic calendar and it was like end of the semester is Thursday, December 11th, um, which I didn't realize that was still in finals week. I thought that would be after, but it just happened to work out that all of my finals were done today. If I would have had any tomorrow, I would have had to call and be like, hey, that's actually not the day I can start. And that would have kind of sucked. Um, anyway. No, I'm not worried about the job, but it left a question in my mind today. Um, and, you know, the end of the semester always comes with, like, I mean, I know I'm going back for next semester, but it's just like, it's such a transition, right? You're in it for 3 months. There's 3 months where you pretty much don't have a day off for 3 months, and college is like, just becomes everything in your life and consumes your head. Um, can, there's a better way to say that, but but you get what I mean. Um, um, yeah, it just lives up there, right? All the time. You're like, oh, when's that assignment due? Oh, what about that one? When's this project due? Should I be working on this? Should I be doing that? I could be doing this better. I could spend more time. It's a mess, bro. It's a mess. Um, and then you get out of that, and there's so much relief. Uh, a job is so much different. Like, I had this thought the other day where I'm like, the mark of a good job, I think, this is just me personally. I'm like, if I leave a job and I can just leave it there, like I don't think about the job while I'm at home, I can just relax and chill out. That's the mark of a good job, right? Obviously, you want fulfillment and passion with it, and yeah, but that's a lot to ask for, honestly. Um, I mean, that's why I'm going for a college degree so that I can get something, a job that I feel passionate about. That I feel like I'm making a difference. Um, yeah, I think like going to college to make more money is like fine. I just like the people who go to college to like just get a job that pays more. You can tell. Like it's so easy to tell in classes who's there because they're actually passionate about what they want to do, or if they're just there because they can get a job that pays more, right? Um, Usually, they're not trying. They're not participating in class. Most of the time, they don't even show up to class. You'll see them, you know, maybe the first week in the semester, then they just disappear until finals. And then they'll show up for the final test. Um, and they'll show up in the test in between if they're in person too, right? Just because they have to, but never there for lecture. Um, I mean, it's crazy, right? To me, that you would pay as much as college cost and then not go to your classes and only coast by, right? I mean, it's kind of a sad image for me. Um, and it's like, it's really bad habits, right? When you actually get into the workforce to just be like, well, I don't have to, so I shouldn't, right? You want to be the kind of person who like goes above and beyond, right? Who wants to. Do more than you have to, right? Because you want to be there, you want to do the work, you want to. I mean, that's the thing. People who take pride in their work versus people who are just there. I think everyone can relate to that. Everyone's seen people on both ends of that spectrum. Probably everywhere in between, too. I could probably rant for a really long time. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. But I should, like, probably get to sleep to start this job tomorrow. It's an animal boarding place, actually. Um, love animals, love working with animals. Don't mind picking up dog shit, you know. Um, yeah. I mean, it's a very easy job, honestly. Um, comparatively to some of the other jobs I've had, definitely very, very easy. Um, anyway, um, yeah, that was a lot of ranting and a bunch of tangents. Um, yeah, you know what I'm saying? All right, peace. What an outro. God, I'm good at this.